everyone and welcome to my 50 facts about me video. I thought this would be a good time to do this video because I have had a lot of new subscribers. Hello if you're one of them and hello if you're a returning subscriber. I've had a lot of new subscribers and I just thought it would be a good time to kind of give some more information on who I am so that you kind of get a bit more of a feel for who you're watching. So I thought I would do the 50 facts about me video. I have wrote all the facts down. It was very hard to come up with 50 facts. Like, I am not that interesting of a person, but saying that, I've come up with 50, and 50 facts is a lot, so I will try and get on with it as quickly as I can. So I'm going to have to read off this because there's a lot of them. Number 1, my name is Sarah Louise Porter. Sarah Louise is two separate names. Like, Sarah Louise isn't my name. Like, Sarah's my first name and Louise is my middle name. So it's not like an extended name like Sarah Louise. Like, my name is Sarah, but I just kind of called my YouTube and all of my other social media my full name. Don't know why, I just kind of did. I thought it was nice. So if you ever see me, my name is just Sarah. I was born on the 29th of January 1990, which, fact number 3, makes me 27 years old. So I'm a lot older than people think. A lot of people have always thought that I'm younger. Even when I was like 18, people would think I was like 15. I've always just appeared a lot younger than I am. Like, I don't really buy things that need ID anymore, but when I do, I still get ID'd. So my favourite colour is pink. I have loved pink now for quite a few years. My favourite colour when I was younger used to be bright orange. I don't really know why, like citrus orange. I loved it. But yeah, now my favourite colour is pink. Any shade of pink, I love it. So I live with my boyfriend and my pet rabbit. And number 6, I have been with my boyfriend for over 10 years now. So my rabbit is called Sir Cubberbun and he's 3 in May. It's a very odd name. I don't really know why I called him that. But when we got him, my boyfriend got him as kind of like I'd finished my final exams in my first year and I passed everything, so my boyfriend kind of treated me to go and get a rabbit like I had said that I wanted a pet. So we actually went to get a guinea pig and came out with a rabbit because we seen him and he was just like up at the thing, and you know when you hold them and you just know. So we came out with him and I don't know why, but the name Sir Cubberbun just came to me and that's his name, but he gets Bun for short. So I live in the northeast of England. I have always lived in the northeast, so like Newcastle area, like Washington, Sunderland. Like, I don't really say that I live in one of them because I've lived in all of them and I'm always in all of them. Although I did live in Scotland for 3 years when I was 6 till 9. So I go to uni and I study biomedical science. It probably sounds really smart, but I'm really not that smart. I have 2 sisters and 1 little brother. So I have an older sister, a younger sister and a little brother. I cannot swim. Like, seriously, can't swim. I have had so many people try to teach me how to swim and my body is physically incapable. It just sinks. It doesn't float. I can't swim if I'm wearing a mask and a snorkel and I've got my head down looking at the bottom of like the pool or the ocean. I can swim like that, but as soon as I lift my head up or if I try to do like the breaststroke, I just sink. Seriously, I can't swim. Like, I'm 27 now, I've accepted it, I can't swim. So I have been driving for 7 years in August. I always get it mixed up and sometimes I think it's 6 years, sometimes I think it's 8 years, but I'm pretty sure it's 7. And I honestly don't know what I would do if I couldn't drive. I used to get buses everywhere, like quite a lot of buses every day, and I hated it. So as soon as I learned to drive, I loved it and I love driving everywhere. I used to do pole dancing and I still do have my own pole and like crash mat and I absolutely love it, but I just don't have the time to do it. I actually got to like intermediate level, so I was like going upside down and do routines and I honestly still like love it so much, but I just don't have the time and energy to do it at the minute with everything else that I've got going on, which is a shame. And my pole, even though I have one like in my house, I've actually took it down at the minute. It's not like it's a really good one. I paid a lot of money for it, but for some reason my one's just really slippy. And lots of people say like keep using it and the slippy bit like disappears, but honestly I've tried everything and my one is rubbish, or I'd still be doing it at home. So I tend to have to go out to classes, but I don't really have the time to do that anymore. So I was doing it for quite a few years and I really enjoyed it. Like, I'd really recommend it if you are like thinking about going to pole dancing lessons. Like, don't be shy or think that you have to wear tiny clothes or think that everybody's going to be like stick thin and like fabulous. It's like, when I've been, there's been all sorts of sizes and all sorts of levels, and everyone's amazing and everyone's kind and everybody makes you feel at ease. So don't worry about it if you're like tiny and you're uncomfortable with it, or if you're big and you're uncomfortable with it. You'll love it. Honestly, just go to a class. So my favourite Disney princess has always been Aurora, but more recently I have started to really fangirl on Ariel. So those are my two favourites and I can't really pick one, but these days I do tend to lean more towards Ariel, but I do still really love Aurora. Like, she has a place in my heart. When I was younger, my little sister used to have a whistle, so that if she did the whistle, she lived at the top of the stairs in our house in Scotland. I think this is where the whistle came from, and I lived at the bottom of the stairs, and she would do the whistle if she knew the coast was clear, because let's face it, when you were little you never used to go to bed when your parents made you go to bed. So I used to sneak into her room and we used to like play My Little Pony and all that sort of thing, and she used to do this whistle to let me know the coast was clear, and she still does it to this day. Like, we were at the shops the other day and she did it just to get my attention. I don't know if I can do it, I'll try and do it, but she always does it and I know it's her, it's funny. I'll try and do it. And this is such a random thing, but that's what she does. And I know that, like, she wants my attention, but when I was younger it was, the coast is clear, let's play. I am obsessed with tea. Like, a cup of tea to me is like, God. Like, I have to have one in the morning. I probably have, like, I don't know how many I have a day, but it's more than one. Like, I always have a cup of tea every day and I have done for I don't even know how long. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, tea leaves, tea bags, like decaf. But I don't like fruit teas. I just like normal tea, like English breakfast, like that sort of thing. I just love a good tea. I've probably had every hair colour you can think of. You name a hair colour and I've had it. When I was 20 or 21, I cut my hair short and dyed it black, and I hated it, and it took a long time to get it long again, and I refused to cut it. Like, I learnt my lesson, because I've always had long hair, blonde, with like colours like in the fringe, like bits of colour, like different colours, like pink or blue or purple, and then I cut it and dyed it black and I hated it, so I've grown it long, and now I've probably had every colour you can think of in my hair at some point, either all over or just like in the fringe or on the tips. Every colour I have had. When people say too hot or too cold, too hot. I've been to Disneyland Paris 3 times, but I've never been to any other Disney park. I have been going to Alton Towers Scarefest at Halloween with my friends every year, all dressed as skeletons. We wear the skeleton onesies from Primark for probably the last, I want to say 7 years. But that seems like a long time, but I added it up and we have been going every year for years. I think the first 2 or 3 years we might have not have dressed up as skeletons. 2 years, but the last 5 years, like when I've had a look like through pictures, we've dressed up as skeletons every year, and we go to Scarefest at Alton Towers every year without fail, and I absolutely love it. Like, we have like tradition that we always go on Jewel first, and I just love it. We did try to go to Thorpe Park every year in the summer and make that a new tradition as well, but considering I live so far away, that was quite an expensive tradition, and we only managed to do it for 2 years running, and then last year we didn't manage to go, and I don't know if we'll get to go this year. I love all types of music apart from indie. Don't know why, but I just really don't like indie. I just feel like, I don't know, I can't really explain it, it just gets on my nerves. The music itself annoys me, but any other type of music I love. So I will literally listen to like metal one day, like a bit of emo the next day, a bit of dance, a bit of pop, new metal I absolutely love, just all types of music, like even like opera music, instrumental music, especially when it's Disney instrumental, and like jazz, anything but indie. When I was younger I was a bit of an alternative kid. I never really had the money or the parents to let me go full on like goth or emo or anything like that. Like, it was so weird. Like, I knew so many people that one day would just show up at school and suddenly they were a goth or they were an emo or a scene kid. Like, me and my friends, some of us, didn't have the money or parents that would allow us to do that, but I was always alternative at heart, and like I would wear like all of those like bands that everybody would wear and like paint my nails black, and I was like an alternative kid, like into the music and that sort of thing. Like, I used to go to Download Festival like years ago. I've been a few times. I've never been to like Leeds or Reading or anything like that, like Glastonbury, like that was too like mainstream for me. I always went to Download Festival, which is like a rock festival if you haven't seen it. My favourite all-time band is Linkin Park, and I have seen them live 7 times, and I even waited out in the rain a download the last time I went and made myself really ill and missed a week of work just to see them, even though I'd already seen them quite a few times at that point. But I absolutely love them and I've seen them 7 times. So I'm a massive movie fan. Like, I would sit and watch movies all day. Like, I could. And like, I like all types of movies as well, and like, when I get into movies, I really get into them. Like, I'll learn the characters, like, I just love the whole aesthetic of them. So like, I love like Disney movies, but I also love... That was freaky, did you see that? Oh, stick her back up. So I love Disney movies, but I also love like horror movies. I'm not massive on romantic movies, but some of them, like especially older ones, I love Marilyn Monroe's movies. Like, you name it, I love movies and I will literally watch them all day, like the Underworld movies, Resident Evil movies, like, I just love movies. I'm a massive 90s kid, like, I love the 90s, like, everything about the 90s, like, the fashion, the music, the movies, just everything was better in the 90s. I'm so glad I got to grow up in the 90s. I was born in 1990, so I literally had my first 10 years growing up in it, and everything still means a lot to me from the 90s, and I'm just a massive 90s nerd. Like, if I could live in the 90s, I would. Stay in or go out. Right, that aerial thing that sticks on there is clearly not staying on, so we're just going to leave it like that because I can't be bothered to stick it on again. So when people say stay in or go out, stay in every time. I have ME, chronic fatigue syndrome. If you don't know what that is, just look it up online. Basically, the main thing with chronic fatigue is you are tired, you get achy, you can't do as much as other people, just a range of horrible symptoms. I started getting it when I was 18, got diagnosed when I was 21, and I've still got it now, and I'm 27, and it does affect me every day. But I have really good support around me, especially my boyfriend. He's basically my carer, bless him. So that's a big part of my life. Can't even get into uni 2 days a week without being exhausted. I've been vegan now since last June. I love shoes, bags, clothes. I'm obsessed. Also, apart from like a Disney blogger, a fashion blogger, and a beauty blogger, like I have a makeup desk and makeup drawers, but I did start out as like a fashion blogger and a beauty blogger. But more recently, I'm more comfortable being a Disney blogger, and fashion blogging's kind of took a bit of a backseat, so I really need to get back into that because it is one of my big loves. So I will only eat tomatoes if they are hot. I don't like them cold. Don't know why, I just don't. I'm going to be an auntie for the first time in June. My older sister is having a little boy in June and I can't wait. I absolutely love having baths. I'll have showers, like if I am needing to be out quicker, but I will happily sit in the bath for hours, watch a movie, put a bath bomb in. Like, I love having baths. My Harry Potter house is Slytherin all the way. If you can't already tell, I'm obsessed with Disney. So I love pastel, like the aesthetic of pastel. Like, if I could, I would have my entire house pastel. Like, everything is better pastel. My 2 favourite fashion stores are Primark and River Island. The only animal that I am really scared of, although it's more of a reptile, is snakes. Like, snakes, I don't really know why, just freak me out. Like, I love all animals and I would never harm a snake, but like, they freak me out. I think what it is that because I've never really been around snakes, all I know about them is that, say there was one over there on that side of the room, if it wanted to get to me really fast, it could, and if it was poisonous, I'd be dead. And that freaks me out. One minute they're just kind of there, and then the next minute they're like, I don't know, maybe it's just horror movies or something, but snakes freak me out. I have held a snake before, and it wrapped around my wrist, and it was just a little one. It was actually really cute, and I was pretending it was a bracelet. But and it was called Mars Bar. So I will still hold them, but you know when they're really big and they are so powerful and fast, and I'm gonna have to stop talking about them or I'm gonna have nightmares. So something else that freaks me out but at the same time I'm slightly kind of obsessed with is zombies. So I didn't used to be able to watch horror movies, and then I kind of was so, you know when you don't like something but you're actually really intrigued by it. So horror movies was like that for me, and I kind of got myself into them, and now I watch them, I love them. I still hide of course, but I do love them. And zombies is the same, so like they freak me out, and if one came in here, it's like, ugh, but at the same time it's like, I am ready. Like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I know every type of zombie, I know every type of tactic, like, I am ready. And yeah, I just feel like I would like to be good in a zombie apocalypse, but realistically I'd probably die in the first few minutes. When I was younger, I always wanted to look like the girl from the Blink-182 Always video, but with purple hair. Like black purple hair, black vest top, skinny jeans, big boots, and just loads of eyeliner and piercings and tattoos. And in ways I still do really want to look like that, but when I last dyed my hair black, I hated it. So now I just kind of want to look like that girl with the blonde hair. I actually went to see Blink-182 before they split up the first time, so a long time ago I got to see them, and it was in my first gig and it was amazing. I have actually lived in 14 houses while I have been on this earth. Crazy, I know. Education wise, I'm going to have to read this. I've been to 1 nursery, 4 primary schools, 2 secondary schools, 2 colleges and 3 unis. But most of the time I was just moved around as a kid a lot, hence the 14 houses. But the colleges was, I studied 1 course at college and then a couple of years later I did a different course. Whereas the unis sounds worse than it is. So I've been at 3 unis because the first time I went to uni, I was messed around by the uni. I applied to go to 1 uni and then they rang me up the day before I was meant to move down there. I'd already paid for the accommodation and everything, and they had given my place to somebody else, so I just didn't have a place at uni. So I had a year out, like they forced me to have a year out, like they got rid of my place. But before I had a year out, I went into clearing and tried to go to a different uni, but I was only there like 5 weeks and I hated it, so I decided to have the year out and then tried to go to the uni that I wanted to go to the year after. So then the year after I got to the uni that I wanted to go to, and I was there for a year, but then I got really ill with my ME and I had to leave, and now I'm at uni again. So it's really not as bad as it sounds. When I was at school I was an absolute nerd and I got A stars in everything, or at least A's. Like I never got less than an A. I was in all the top sets, I was on the school council, I was in the science club, and I even campaigned to bring in trousers for girls at, if you go to St Robert's in Washington, St Robert's of Newminster I think it's called still, when I was there girls weren't allowed to wear trousers, girls had to wear skirts. So I campaigned on the council, it was like all me, and I got girls allowed to wear trousers. You could still wear a skirt if you wanted to, because some girls do, but I campaigned so that girls could wear trousers. And that was when the uniform turned green. That was the kind of thing, like if we were allowed to wear trousers then the school wanted a new uniform. So if you go to that school you're allowed to wear trousers because of me. And also the uniform's green, I'm sorry. When I was at school my group of friends was called the Goon Platoon because we were absolute goons. And everybody avoided us. Half the time I can't decide whether I want to be like Christina Aguilera or Britney Spears or Taylor Momsen. Those 3 women are like style icons and just amazing, like music, fashion, I just love them. When I was younger I had a skateboard and I was so cool I used to ride it by either sitting on it or lying on it and going down a hill, and probably under my friend's legs. Like I never actually stood up on it because I was really scared to stand up on my skateboard. But it was a really cool skateboard. I was cool. Every single educational institute I've been to, apart from like nursery, so like school, like every single school I've been to, every single college I've been to, every single uni I've been to, and every single job I have ever had, I have been bullied. No joke, I have been bullied in every single one. Most of the time it's been girls. There's been the odd boy or groups of girls and boys, but it's usually girls. But honestly, I'm still standing, so I don't really care about the haters. So if you get bullied, then honestly, wipe it off. You'll be fine. I probably have over 100 pairs of shoes. I can't say for sure because I've just chucked a load out, but if you do want to see most of them, I've added quite a few since I've done the videos, but I have a shoe collection video where you can see all my shoes, and there's quite a lot of them. I need like 3 more facts. Actually had to ring my boyfriend and try and get some more facts because I'm clearly just that boring. I wrote down 50, but I kind of explained 3 as like one fact sort of thing. I don't know. Oh, I thought of another one. I actually wear glasses, so I can't see far away. So I need them for like driving. Like if I don't know where I'm going, I probably need them for driving. If I know where I'm going and it's daytime, it's fine. If it's night time, I need them if I don't know where I'm going or if it's really rainy. But I generally don't tend to wear them. So half the time if I'm somewhere and somebody points to something far away, I can't see it. But I hate wearing them. Like something up close is absolutely fine. So I think that's okay. It's just like far away things, and it's like, really, if it's that far away, do I really need to see it? so I do need glasses, but I don't really like wearing them. I used to be in quite a lot of bands when I was younger, so I was in, I don't know how many I was in, it'll take a while to count up because I've been in quite a few, but I used to play bass guitar and I was lead vocals in some of the bands, or all of the bands. I think I was bassist and like backup vocals in one band, but in the rest of the bands I was lead vocals and bassist. And my favourite band was my second band with two friends, and we were called My Sweet Addiction, but this was before mobiles and stuff, so I don't really have any pictures of us. But I was actually in a band called Damaged Angels, God, and we actually got decently big. Like, we had singles out, we had like gigs where we were headlining, we were getting like paid and stuff. But then I went to uni, and like being in a band, I enjoyed it, but I don't know, I went to uni and I left the band and went to uni. I'm not sure if I've definitely done 50, so I'll try and think of one more just in case I haven't, but I feel like I've said a lot. I absolutely love Halloween and Christmas. I used to be more of a Halloween fiend, but one year I dressed the house so much for Halloween stuff that the next year I just kind of felt like it was too much clutter and couldn't be bothered to put it all up and take it all down just for like 2 weeks or something, like, I don't know. So I am still massive like Halloween fiend, like I always have to do a pumpkin, like I don't think I've ever not done one, but I also really love Christmas. Like, those are my two favourite like occasions. I don't really like roller coasters, even though I love theme parks. I really like water rides. I will quite easily go on all of the kiddies rides, like I love them. So like Disneyland is like right up my street because there's not that many big rides, but I am better with roller coasters. Like, I've worked my way up, and if you know Alton Towers, I can now go on A13, and I think that's the only two I go on. I can't go on Oblivion or Nemesis or Rita, they're too fast. And Thorpe Park wise, I can go on Swarm, surprisingly, and Soar, even though it's really scary. But I can't go on the other ones. Like, I'm working my way up, I'm getting better. I'm pretty sure that's 50, I honestly can't think of any more. I'm clearly the world's most boring person ever. So I think that's everything that I can really think of. It might just be over 50, it might just be under, I'm not really sure. That probably is the world's most boring facts ever, and I'm sorry if I'm a really boring person, but that's really all I can think of. If anybody actually wants to ask me any questions, then you can like message me on Instagram or tweet me, and I could try and put together like a Q&A video if people were really interested in that, because I can't really think of any more questions. So hopefully that was like informative, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again and I haven't bored you too much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.